Hello, Happy Flynn here. Thank you once again for joining me so that we can collectively use the powers that have been given to us during these new and full moons. And this is the new moon in Aries at 4 degrees and it's conjunct Chiron. So that's pretty weighty. And of course, with it being in Aries ruled by Mars, we're talking about asserting ourselves. We're talking about I will, I am. We're talking about doing inner battle. Because it's on Chiron, we're dealing with inner battle that has to do perhaps with wounds, or now is the time to heal. We want to be careful not to do anything that's going to be injurious to ourselves. What is it that you perhaps have not been doing that has been injurious to yourself? What is it that you need to do to feel like you are surging forth and winning in your life in terms of being authentic, in terms of being your own authority? It's time to be your own authority. This new moon, this is calling us to be courageous, to act assertively, to compete with ourselves. We also want to be careful that we don't get too hot-headed and burn ourselves or burn someone else, because inevitably we never want to do harm, because we inevitably are just harming ourselves as well. We don't want to harm anything. This is about doing spiritual warrior work. We have Pluto and we have Jupiter and we have Mars still acting there in Capricorn. Throughout this year, this Capricorn energy is always the background. It's the foundation of everything that's going on with these quicker moving planets and during these lunar events. And here we've got Mars in Capricorn. So we've got Mars there and we've got Pluto, and Pluto is activating the bowels of our psyche. Something is coming up, being called to our attention, something that we need to look at. What jewels of wisdom are coming to you now? What secrets have you been hiding from? What is it that you haven't wanted to look at? Now we want to look at it square on. And Jupiter is going to be very benevolent in helping you through this process. We also have Saturn is at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And being on that cusp there, leaving his home of Capricorn. If you have learned the lessons in the last 2.5 years, what have you learned these past couple of years? What has been a major theme? There's a lesson in there. And if you've learned that lesson, Saturn may very well give you a nice gift. And also because of Mars being the ruler of Aquarius and Saturn being on this 0 degree, which is a potent degree, moving into Aquarius, Mars ruler of Aries, we may have to stand alone. We may have to go it alone in terms of being our own authority. And we might take some heat in standing our ground. That's another thing that could happen. You might feel some heat for standing your ground, speaking your truth. But this new moon is asking us to be courageous, to do battle with anything that we have done that's been injurious towards ourselves, to have the courage to tear off that band-aid, to look things square on, to exert ourselves, say, I am, I will, and doing it in a way that is assertive and not aggressive. We have Chiron, new moon, squaring the North Node in Cancer, the North Node, which is our future, which is our destiny. It's not necessarily going to be easy to do this battle, to be courageous. And I might say also, probably the thing where we're going to get the most benefit from is doing that thing that we're afraid of. Face the fear, as they say, and do it. No matter how you're feeling, you will find also, I'm sure, I found this so many times in my life, and I'm sure if you reflect, you found this, when you face that thing that you're afraid of, that seems really scary, like, oh, like, like, oh, no, like, when you're a kid and you looked under the bed, oh, and there was nothing there, right? Looking at it square in the eye starts to evaporate. So, until the new moon in Aries, no, I will be converging mindfully, soulfully, heartfully during this new moon with you. I hope you'll join me so that altogether, the more that there are of us, the more than one, we're more than our sum. We can build up collectively our intention to become our authentic, more evolved self. If you do the astrology rather than the astrology doing you, tends to be way more satisfying. So let's do the astrology and not let the astrology be done to us. This is all part of a greater trajectory with all this stuff happening in Capricorn in the background. I mentioned in the last report, it was a time for us to start cultivating our dream seeds, and we have to be brave. If you didn't see that report, I'll leave a little link there, give you some more background. Hopefully you can see how this is all, each month with these different lunar events, how the chain is moving along. It's one link, one link, one link, leading on and leading forward. Maybe that wasn't the best analogy, link, but the next point, the next step. And each time we do the astrology with these steps, the more ground we make. What mountain do you need to climb? Or what has it felt like in terms of having to climb a mountain that you didn't think you could? Well, you can climb that mountain. All the stuff in Capricorn, this is the mountain goat. You can climb that mountain. Be brave. Until the new moon, I converge with you heartfully, mentally, soulfully. Please join us. I put all the times down there. Don't want to be too repetitive. Maybe I have been, so I'll say bye for now. Thank you so much.